Amid all the noise in our lives, we take this moment to sit in silence, to give thanks for another day, to give thanks for all those in our lives who have brought us warmth and love, to give thanks for the gift of life. We know we are on our pilgrimage here, but for a brief moment in time, let us open ourselves here, now, to the process of becoming more whole, of living more fully, of giving and forgiving more freely, of understanding more completely the meaning of our lives here on this earth.
We are a liberated haven, welcoming wonder and spiritually free. Grace unstained by a loving tradition, moved and inspired by the future we see. Only seeking and working for justice, gently transforming lives through things great and small. Young and old, sharing meaning and mission, we joyfully offer our vision to all.
Wikipedia says, a barn raising, also historically called a raising bee or rearing in the UK, is a collective action of a community in which a barn for one of the members is built or rebuilt collectively by members of the community. Wikipedia also goes on to say that a barn was a necessary structure for any farmer, yet a barn was also a large and costly structure, the assembly of which required more labor than a typical family could provide. Barn raising addressed this need by enlisting members of the community, unpaid, to assist in the building of their neighbors' barns. This June, my family had a large and costly structure, the assembly of which required more labor than we could provide. It was a big blue swing set. If you give me a moment, I'd like to tell you a bit about how this swing set came to be. It all began in April. As it became clear that this pandemic was not going to go away anytime soon, my husband and I began to imagine what summer might look like. With our travel plans scrapped and the danger of COVID-19 lingering over us with every potential outing, we decided to invest in some at-home entertainment. First and foremost on our list was a swing set. As we are currently saving up for another lift fan, we didn't have much spare cash to spend. So we did our research and found a modest-priced set that would suit our needs. The only question was, would Lily be able to play on it? As luck would have it, our neighbor across the street had a similar model going unused in his backyard. So we asked him, could we bring the girls over just to see if this model would be a good fit for them? Sure, he said, come on over. And, he added, if it works for the girls, you're welcome to have it. Now, I've never been good at receiving. I guess you could say I'm too prideful. But recently, I read that until we can receive with an open heart, we're never really giving with an open heart. And as I want to be a better giver, I've been working on becoming a better receiver. So, my husband and I graciously accepted our neighbor's generous offer. Then, as if on cue, gifts started coming in from everywhere. My father-in-law kindly spent one whole rain-soaked afternoon blasting the old paint off of the swing set so that we could repaint it. Jeff, our neighbor on the right, gave us some leftover gray paint that he had floating around in his garage. And Mike, our neighbor on the left, offered to help us move and assemble the big blue monster when the time arrived. Offer after offer, gift after gift. So it was that on June 14th, we held ourselves a modern-day barn raising. And the big blue swing set came into being, a testament to the love wrought by community. My question for you today is this: what are the barns that need raising in your community? Share your answer during coffee hour today or with your family and friends sometime this week.
For today's service, I'd like to share with you the words of Reverend Lisa Friedman, Associate Minister at Unity Church Unitarian in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She titles this, Siding with Love. You never know when the moment of decision will come. Perhaps it is on the school playground when you see the class bully picking on a new victim, or standing in the checkout line at the grocery store behind a young mother whose screaming child has her at her wit's end, or at a staff forum at work when your pledge to take some unpaid leave could help save a coworker's job. Such moments come in different ways to each of us, but they do come. They remind us that the decisions we make in our day-to-day lives do make a difference. They point out the ongoing choices we make between standing uncomfortably on the sidelines of our messy world, unsure of what to do, and acting deliberately in small but concrete ways to help create a kinder, more compassionate reality. They return us to the powerful truth that in critical times it is possible to stand on the side of love, and in the mystic's words, to help its mighty power to surge upward and surmount every obstacle by defending, supporting, and advocating for each other as if we were all equals in our humanity. Or do they? After all, are we infallible human beings really that powerful? If siding with love is so significant, then why isn't the world a better place already? Don't most people already think of themselves as siding with love? Or at least as much love as they can manage, given that most of us cannot live as saints? It's a spiritual paradox. It is precisely because we live in a world which knows the evils of greed and violence and the seas of human indifference that we understand just how sacred it is when our acts of love and compassion actually triumph. And it is precisely because we live in a world which knows such triumphs that we cannot fully give up hope on our imperfect humanity. If there's one thing that I appreciate about our Unitarian Universalist Association's invitation to siding with love in these current times, it's that the invitation invites love as an active force in our lives. So much of our understanding of love can be passive. We talk of falling in love, of being helplessly in love, or we assumes love automatic presence in a family or a home or a community, and then are shocked to learn otherwise. But I do believe that love is more than merely a power that claims us. It is also a power that we claim by choosing our responses to the truths of our world. Love is a choice. Whether we're at the bedside of a loved one dying or at the side of a stranger we've only just met. The love which inspires the courage and commitment of such choices is not a sweet or sentimental kind of love. Rather, it is a love which recognizes the greater good and the bonds of kinship of which we are a part. But once we accept love as a choice, then we must also come to terms with where that choice leads us. This was the profound and radical insight of our Universalist forebears, that if love comes from God, then there can be no exceptions. Love cannot be just for one or for some of us. If it is for any of us, it must be for all. Love cannot be just for those with loud voices, but also for the voiceless. Love cannot be just for those with power, but also for those who are marginalized. Love cannot be just for those who still hope, but also for those who despair that help and hope will ever come. So take a moment to reflect on this particular time in your own life, in the lives of your family and friends, and in the state of our community and in our world. Who needs us to side with them in love? What moral questions does our commitment to love call us to address in the coming year? I don't have the answers, nor are the choices only mine to make. But I lift up these questions to spark a conversation as individual people who care about this world and as a community of faith, memory, and hope. Recently, reflecting on the opportunities to stand for love, a friend of mine asked, "Why does it have to be a side? Must there always be a side?" I understand her regret. The last thing our world needs is more division. One answer might be that the call to siding with love is made in the spirit of inclusion. But I also think that we're being invited to occupy a new place, or on a new side of understanding about what it means to live spiritually in our world. Love is a choice. It is a deep, life-changing passion, not just for our hearts, but also for our souls.
Baby born in New York City, wrapped in a blanket, all tattered and worn. Mama's doing the best she can. It takes hope in a hopeless world. Her other son, he stayed in school. Listened to his mother, he never drank or used. But every job he wants, he gets refused. Takes hope in a hopeless world. Looking for hope in a hopeless world. Trying to find love in such hateful times. Trying to stay strong when the mind is weak. Looking for hope in a hopeless world. Churches are full, but the prayers are not heard. Saturday's child don't wanna go to Sunday school. Whatever happened to the golden rule? It takes hope in a hopeless world. You got a quarter for the homeless man. Spare some change for the soldiers who fought the war. Put a little money in those hats and those tins. Give them hope in a hopeless world. Looking for hope in a hopeless world. Searching for love in such hateful times. Trying to stay strong, but my mind is weak. Trying to ease my mind, ease my mind. You gotta listen to the voice inside. Need to love, don't compromise. Realize there are mountains to climb. Churches are full, but the prayers are not heard. Saturday's child don't wanna go to Sunday school. Whatever happened to the golden rule? It takes hope in a hopeless world. Somebody out there gotta listen. Somebody out there gotta know what I'm talking about. Raise your hands if you're with me. Give us hope in a hopeless world. Looking for hope in a hopeless world.
This piece is called We Are Not Done. It is written by the Reverend Audette Fulbright Folson, who's the minister of the UU Church of Cheyenne in Cheyenne, Wyoming. It is written in memoriam to Eric Garner. We are not done. Do not think we are finished. Oh no, we will never be finished. Never just done until the light of justice is lit behind every eye. Do not think we will be silent. No, there will be no silence until the world has sung the names of the dead with full throats, and still we will sing on. Do not think fear is the end of us. Oh, you are broken in mind and heart if you even imagine that our fear for our lives is the end of this story. We are braver than you have ever conceived, and you will not be the end of us. We have come to take back the world that is the inheritance of better children, better lovers, better days. There will be love again, but justice is our demand now. You will not take us down. We are endless, firelit, determined, and we are coming for you. I chose these two pieces to share with you today from Reverends Friedman and Folson because they tell us that there is work for us to do. Love is here. Love is always here. But there's also the work of justice that needs to be done. And that work is our work to do. It's the work of all of us, not just some of us, not just one or two of us. It's the work of all of us. And it's not for just certain groups of people. It's for all of us. Because remember, all of us need all of us.
You better listen, my sisters, 'cause if you do, you can hear there are voices still crawling across the years. They're all crying across the ocean, and they're crying across the land, and they will till we all come to understand. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. And there are people in darkness, and they just can't see the light. If you don't say it's wrong, then you say it's right. We gotta feel for each other. Let our brothers know we care. Gotta get the message, send it out loud and clear. None of us are free. None of us are free. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. It's a simple truth we all need to see. None of us are free. One of us is chained. None of us are free. Now I swear to you, salvation is too hard to find. We're gonna bust to find it on our own. We gotta join together, bring spirit, heart, and mind, so that every soul is suffering will never know. If you just look around you, you're gonna see what I say. 'Cause the world is getting smaller each passing day.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. I leave you with these words of benediction by D. Scott Cooper. The world aches for us to join together and bring about healing, toil for justice, and produce ever-increasing love. This is our calling. Go forth and act accordingly. Amen.